Hello, this is Vala Regattas again. Thanks for joining me in my workshop. You're looking at a recently rescued spinning wheel from a yard sale. It was an estate clean out, got it pretty reasonable, put a bat head on it, spins wonderfully. But as you can tell, let's take a closer look. That wood is dry. So what am I going to do with that? I did bring it home. I cleaned it with Dawn and dried it quickly. And I also cleaned it in the sink, some of it, and rinsed it off, dried it very quickly. And as you can tell, the rim is also pretty dry. So we'll take a look at 2 or 3 different products and what to do about it. As in any kind of finish with wood, it's highly controversial. You need to research, you need to do what you believe is best for your antique. There are so many different finishes, but take a close look at that. It's so dry and been in storage for so long. Another one of the fun things that I found as a bonus to this wheel, let's see if I can get it to focus closely, the bone hub bearing front and back, and look how it's kind of stapled in there. It spins wonderfully. We're going to look at 4 different products. This is the bottom, the underside of the table of the great wheel. Far right is Howard's Feed and Wax, very popular, very easy to use, right off the shelf, ready to go. Next to it is boiled linseed oil, which is technically a finish. Once you put it on, you're not going to get it off. It will darken the wood, and it will permanently darken it, but the wood will just soak it right up. Next to that is homemade paste wax that I've made with mineral oil, beeswax, and carnauba wax. And to the far left is Howard's paste wax that you can apply with a sponge or a brush or any kind of cloth. To look at them closer, looking at the Howard's, it's kind of sitting on the surface, drying. It will soak in. The boiled linseed oil just immediately soaked into the wood. In fact, you can see I dribbled some on the edge. There's a little shine over here to the right with Howard's, mainly because I need to wipe it off. It has darkened it. And then to the left is the homemade wax on the right side, and the left side is the Howard's wax. Let's let them set a little while and see what they look like, and then wipe them off and compare what we might use. There's a lot of buzz about Howard's Feed and Wax that it really doesn't do much for the wood or much for the product. I must admit it's easy to use. It gets a lot of bang for the buck, makes it look shiny. It's just got a lot of instant gratification with it. But is it really the best for the wood? That's something to research and talk about. And while we're waiting on the wax and the finishes, I thought we'd look at this little jewel here on the leg. A carpenter bee got to it. That's not unusual. It probably sat outside or an unenclosed area for a while. They did manage to bore a nice little hole in there. It doesn't go all the way. I'll just probably fill it with some wax and wax over it and call it good. There's really not much else to do with it because it's still strong structurally. Well, they've had a few minutes to dry, and I've buffed off the excess. Looking at them, I just don't know. Sometimes it's in the feel and the appearance. Howard's Feed and Wax, I have used that a lot, and I must admit, whenever I initially get a wheel and one this dry, I'll probably use that for the initial coat. And then I realize 2 or 3 months later, I'm going to go to a hand rubbed on wax finish with my own wax concoction that I make, mainly because I can apply it by hand. It's safe and I know what's in it. Boiled linseed oil, that color is permanent. It is not going to lighten. It will soak in If you have some grain that you are very proud of and you think the piece has gorgeous graining in the wood, then maybe you need to use wax or something lighter instead, because the boiled linseed oil will darken the finish, very much so, and it will stay that way. However, it does penetrate more. The homemade wax, like I said, I prefer because I can apply it by hand. I can put it on my hand. I can rub it in. I know what's in it. If I used walnut oil in the wax mix, then it might darken the wood over time. Some say that it might even go rancid. I've never experienced that. It has just a little bit more glow to it than Howard's at this point in time, and a little more satin feel. The Howard's paste wax, along with any furniture paste wax that's quality, it will do about the same thing. You rub it in, you wipe it off and buff. The benefits of wax is it seals the wood a little bit better, and it makes the wood a little smoother to the feel, which whenever it gets into the hand spokes that you're turning, that's what I like. I want those spokes to feel smooth. Howard's feed-in wax is not going to achieve that, not for long term, no. It's initial bang for the buck. It's initial, let's make it look pretty and get going. And 2 or 3 months later, you might as well put the Howard's away and use your paste wax from there on. Even paste wax on top of the boiled linseed oil would be very beneficial. So don't just think it's going to be linseed oil now and forevermore. Add a paste wax finish later on. So do your research. I'm not endorsed by any of these products, obviously. It's just trial and error and what I like. So see what you like and keep working on it. Happy spinning.